Welcoming you again in this video. Those who have looked through our part A, who have understood and who have passed through what we call a relation, a mapping and a relation. We understood the concept of mapping and relation. Now, we are going to introduce mathematics within this video and see how the competency-based curriculum, the CBC, which is going to be introduced in mathematics here, and we are going to see how we are going to be challenging these numbers when given. Don't lose marks in the exams because you have changed from the other OD curriculum. Now we are having a CBC curriculum where we are going to be handling much of the work basing on the way how UNEB will be setting the exams. Okay, now today we are going to introduce the mathematics. For example, here we consider, for example, we are having sets. Set A, if at all we are having a 2, a 3, a 5, and a 7. And also we are having set B. Say set B is equal to, we are having a 6, we are having a 12, 15, and a 20 what? A 21. We are having those numbers. And those are the two sets which is given before us. We needed to look at the relations. How set A is related to a set B. And we need to identify this arrangement. For example, we are having set A, which is having members 2, 3, 5, and 7. Then set B is having 6, 12, 15, and 21. Now, we can say how group A members are connected to group B members. This is the competence-based curriculum. We need to understand the concept of mapping and relation. Now, when you look at this one, we are having A, for example, here, we are having A, here we are having part A, which is having members. For example, here, when you look at a 2, we need to look at a relation which says is a prime factor of, altogether, let us say a relation here of which we can look at. Let us first begin with a relation that says is a factor of. Are you seeing that one? When you need to identify how these ones are related, we need just to come up and see how this A is related to B. And now we can say set A, we are going to identify the members here and we are going to group them. What that identified is a factor of. Altogether, it means, now let us, before we go any further, how to define this? There is two statements here which is written A, and we'll do like this, 6. How do we say, for example, here, if at all we are having C and B, then also we are having B and C. I need you to be very, very, very cautious at this statement here, mathematical identity we are going to write. When we are looking at this one, we say, when you look at the what is given here is a factor of, but we are having C. It means now, if at all we need to read this one, we say C is a factor of B. Are you seeing that one? Then when we change B to be the factor of this one, which one? Remember, you have to understand this. Now let us just look at these two numbers here. For example, a 2 here. We are having a 2. When we say is a factor of, now let us look at within this. Which numbers within this one are factors of 2? Are we together? Oh, we say, for example, 6 is a factor of. I need you to relate this one. When you write a statement like 2 is a factor of 6, or we can say 6 is a factor of 2. You need you to understand this. What are factors? For your information. What are factors? Yes. When you look at what we call factors, for those ones who can at least get this one, these are numbers we obtain by multiplying these factors. For example, when you look at a factor, we multiply these factors to obtain that very number. For example, if at all we are having a 2 multiply, because when you talk about a factor, it will be just a multiple of that very number. For example, here, when we say 2 is a factor of 6, it means this first statement is the one which is a bit correct. But when you say 6 is a factor of 2, it is not right. All together. Mathematically, this statement is not correct because 6 is not a factor of a what? A 2. All together. But a 6 is a multiple. All together. Yes, when you multiply a 2 several times, you can land on a 6. All together. Then when a number comes and say you define a relation that say is a factor of, factor erina okuba nga ntonomu ku product gy'oba ogenda okola ki. Numbers we multiply to obtain a big number is what we call a factor. All together. Yes, sometimes they are called factors. In other mathematics, we shall call them roots. All together. Yes. Now, when you look at these ones here, the statement which is right, it is this one. That defined is a factor of. Now, to define this one, we can say 2, instead of writing this one, we can say, we write the arrow, and we say a 6. It means a 2 is a factor of 6 altogether. And we can just say this. And a 12. Are you seeing that one? These are just a statement. We are developing what we call mapping and relation. Also, we can say a 3, instead of writing the word, we just use an arrow, and we say 3 is a factor of, then it will be a 6, a 12. Are you seeing that one? A 15 and a 21. Are you seeing that one? Even this one also speaks the same story altogether. Now, we are having a 5 again. I think you can map this one also, which is a 5 is a factor of, then we write a 15, not so. Then finally, we can be having a 7, which is a factor of, say, 7 is a factor of, then a 21. That is the way how we can represent this to define a relationship between these numbers, or between members in set A and those in set B. Now, we are going to look at the way of mapping these ones out together. We are going to look at the way how we are going to be mapping them. Take an example. We are having 2 sets. Set A, which is going to be placed on the left hand side, like this one. We are having set A. We are having set A. Then we are going to be having another set, which is set what? Set B. which is here. Now we are introducing the real concept of mapping and relation. We are having numbers inside here. We are having a 2, a 3, a 5, and a 7. This side, we are having, this is part B. Are you seeing that one? But this side, we are having a 6. We are having a 12. We are having a 15 and a 21. We need to map a relation which says is a factor of. Are we together? Yes, when we are identifying these ones, we are going just to have arrows that defines the relations. Are we together? Now we are having, now remember we are having what we call is a factor of. Are we together? Now when you look at 2 is a factor of, then we write the first arrow will be this. Are we together? But it is not related to only one number. Are we together? Is also a factor of what? Of 12. Remember, we place an arrow. Are we together? Excuse me. Now we proceed. Now we go to a 3. Now when you look at the 15 and the 21, they are not 2 is not a factor of this and this. Are we together? Then we continue. Also, we can be having this one 3. 3 goes here and say is a factor. Now, this 3 is a factor of 12. Also is a factor of 6. Is a factor of 15. And also a factor of 21. Are you seeing that one? It means a 3 is mapped onto different numbers or onto on all members within the other image. Are we together? Remember, now here, this one is the object, and this one is the image. Are we together? Yes, we are deriving it at this very point. Now, at a later stage for information, let us first complete this one. Now, when you look at this one, 5, also we need to look at the factor. 5 is a factor of 15. Are you seeing that one? There is no any other number altogether. Then also, a 7 is also a factor of 21. Now we are done with the mapping. Are we together? Yes, when we talk about mapping and relation, we map a given relation, the connection between these numbers. And remember, these connections are always mathematically represented by an arrow. Are we together? Now, when you look at the image here, and also the object and the image, they are having other mathematical names. Are we together? Those mathematical names here, we are having the object. Sometimes this object is also known as the domain. Are you seeing that one? Sometimes the object, mathematically, we can call them the domain. Then, when it comes to the image, it is known as the range. Yes, in most cases, they will say, given the domain, then you determine the relationship between the domain and the range altogether. This is the way how a domain is mapped onto the range, or is when the domain is mapped to the other part of the image altogether. Now, this is the way how we are dealing with the mapping and the relations altogether. Now, in our next video, we are going to dive into other mathematical arrangement such that you get to understand the whole topic. Those senior tools And those senior threes, those who are in senior fours and you missed this topic to understand it clearly, please come in the comment section. Then you ask your question how we are going to be handling this. My friend, this curriculum, remember, we are testing your understanding. We are looking at the way how you perceive the knowledge of mathematics, whether you can apply it in your daily life. My friend, when it comes to this CBC curriculum, please trust Mr. Moses is going to take you through step by step arrangement, and you excel in your exams. Remember, you never has changed from the other science of just setting the other questions, find x and so on. Now we look at how you are going to think critically, how you are going to apply mathematics in a daily life. Please stay on the channel, subscribe for other videos whenever we upload them on a daily basis. Have a nice time. Thank you for watching.